Good afternoon. Welcome to the part 2 series out of 4 to this Servant Leaders of Wisconsin Slowdown. Hoping you're having a great day. My name is Joe Kiedinger. I am the founder of Servant Leaders of Wisconsin, which is becoming Servant Leaders of the World because we're having people check in from all over, which is exciting and great. And we're here to talk about positivity in this Slowdown series. These 30-minute bite-sized series are designed so that you can bring supervisors together, just to have them pause, slow down, and get a nugget of something to take with them back to work starting immediately. And that's what these slowdowns have really become. We have groups in other states that have contacted us, grateful for these little slowdowns so that their team members, they felt is a perfect amount of time just to learn something and then get back. And so our theme this week or this month is positivity. The theme this week is the power of words and the power of reading. And so Jen Endries will lead us shortly. But I just want to talk about this idea of positivity. It's often been thought of as a Pollyanna type energy that comes out. Positive people. Hey, what's going on? Jen Endries is a ray of sunshine. She even says, I'm here to spread my sunshine to you. She naturally is built with that type of positivity. And people associate that with being very soft-natured, or some people find that type of enthusiasm or positivity hard to connect with. But what I want to plant a different seed in your head. It's hard to be positive. It's a hard skill. It's not a soft skill. It's something that has to be deliberate, practiced, and executed. That's what makes it a hard skill. Our brain is wired to be negative 80% of the time. I talked about that in March. And if you want more of that information, you can go to our events and workshop at Prophit.com, and you can see past slowdowns. We talked about the brain is wired to be negative 80% of the time. So when you see a naturally positive person like Jen who exudes positivity, that's actually very rare because it was her upbringing, it was her influences in her life that helped her become the person she is, and it was also choices she made. And so what she's going to challenge us today is to make a choice. And this particular upcoming series on words and reading is very powerful because you're going to leave with some immediate ahas that what you say becomes your day. We talked about that in March. What you say becomes your day. I'm going to have a great day today. You all have a great day. Or, oh gosh, this meeting's going to be awful. Guess what? The meeting's probably going to be awful. What you say, that power is critical. We've actually proved it in science as well. There is a whole science that's being done on positive energy. It's something we teach to leaders on how to harness the positive energy, how to look at the science, how to understand how to harness positivity in a very hard-natured way, in a very calculated way, so that you're sending out creativity, positive vibes, positive thoughts. We hear people say it all the time. I'm sending positive vibes your way, right? There's an energy of positivity. And within that energy, things get done. Within that energy, people come together. Within that energy, people feel alive. And so this is really important that we study positivity. And I'm so grateful that Jen broke it into a 4-part series because, she talks about the 7 habits of positive people. And by just tackling a couple at a time, she's going to approach 2 more this time. It's really important that we slow down again and take this stuff in. And what can you learn personally about what you're about to hear? So before I kick it off to Jen, I just want to say thank you for all your ideas. Many of you sent ideas as to where we could hold Servant Leaders of Wisconsin in the future. Our next session together would be in September. And again, if we can't, we're going to do another slowdown series in September. We always take summer off. And so we're also grappling with the idea, maybe we have one in Appleton and one in Green Bay. If we can't find a proper central location, maybe that's how we do it. And so maybe some of you out there would say, maybe our company could host, maybe we could be the ones to have it in our facility once we get back to all getting together. Perhaps that could be, or maybe you have a partner that could help partner with us to provide a space, and we could spread the word and so forth, and to create 2 locations. We're okay with that. We're just trying to spread this servant leadership philosophy and movement throughout Northeast Wisconsin. That's our focus, and beyond, and it's growing beyond. There's groups in Madison, there's groups in La Crosse, there's groups in Fond du Lac. So this is not just us. This is a combined collection of leaders stepping out, wanting to share this message. So we're so happy to have you here with us. We're grateful. We've been going on, this is our 11th year, 11 years strong, so we're excited about that. So without further ado, let me kick it off to Jen in her part 2 series on the power of positivity.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I want to be the highlight of your day. I want to bring about a little bit of sunshine and talk about positivity and how to share that attitude with others. Thank you so much to Joe for kicking us off today. Today is June 11th, and we are at our second part of our 4-part series for S.L.O.W, which is so wonderful. I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Jen Endries. I'm the current academic and interim regional dean at Rasmussen College and also founder of Gen Ed LLC. And we're coming back today, starting out right, how to bring positivity into your day every day. So welcome back to our second session in our 4-part series. Last week, we talked about a few key things I just want to review very quickly. We talked about the law of attraction and how like attracts like. Leading into our very first of our 7 powerful positive habits, the first one being the power of people, where we really tried to focus on that power that people bring and those people that surround us, and how they can have an influence over us. And we had to do some self-reflection about ourselves and about others, and hopefully you took the time to do that and really put some thought into that powerful habit of people. This week, our focus is going to be on the power of words and the power of reading. And although you know that I all have a positive personality, and you know this is something that I think I was born with, but inherently I think it's different for everyone. But I think the key thing here is that we can all take steps to improve our outlook and how to create brand new habits. So I really want to focus on that today. So as we move into our first powerful habit for today, which is actually habit number 2, the power of words. I become more positive each day. I am happy, confident, and I see the best in others. I am positive and I attract positivity into my life. Last week we talked a little bit about mantras, about when we got feet on the ground and we had that awesome mantra that started our day, and hopefully it was a positive one. So these are kind of a reflection of that. Some positive self-mantras that we could use in our day-to-day, the strong, powerful words that come to our brain when we start that day so that we can start it out right. What I want you to do now is think back to the last time that you had a bad day. You know, we all have bad days. I personally believe that we have bad moments and not bad days, because flipping that positivity, when I look at a bad day, if I can look at and harness in on that bad moment, I can flip my attitude so that it doesn't end up being a bad day. What ends up happening is we get into this circular motion and we get caught in that cycle of having a bad day. So somebody probably told you when you were having that bad day because of your look, because of your nonverbals that you were displaying, hey, keep your chin up. Or I've said, you know, you always have to look at the glass being half full. For someone like me who has positivity as their top 5 strengths, these comments usually cause me to take pause, flip and change that attitude. And that's probably why I really focus on the bad moment versus the bad day. Others may try to maintain their sense of optimism in spite of the obstacles or setbacks of that day. And others may even say, what the heck do you know? You don't know me. You're not me. Here's what I want you to think about. The benefits of positive thinking are far greater than you think. Positive psychology is a domain that has recently energized and emerged into the field of psychology. And the power of words is really at that forefront. The words you choose play a dramatic role in being positive. Your language affects your view of yourself, your capabilities, and your expectations. Success habits, the ones that we're talking about, require you to be realistic and yet confident, pushing yourself to be the best person that you can be. Consequently, people who attract success really learn how to refine their language, striping it of all negativity. But what are some of the effective ways to really tap into the power of words? First, making a habit of paying more attention to your word choice. For example, we use the, hey, keep your chin up. Hey, the glass is always half full. Maybe you could think of another word that could take some of those places. You have to make some notes for yourself for the words that make you feel empowered, the words that make you feel positive. So for me, they're up on the screen right now. I become more positive each day. That's powerful. I'm happy, confident, and I see the best in others. Sets me on the course for the day. I am positive and I attract positivity into my life for continued success. So you can kind of see how those mantras build. When you notice ways of speaking that don't help you build on that positivity, think about how you can change things up. What I really want you to focus on is, can you look to replace words such as can't, never, shouldn't, with a little bit more aspirational words that just kind of describe the life that you want to create, exactly like I've done here. Brene Brown also has a great little TED Talk and a YouTube video where she talks about using the word at least. At least you don't. At least you didn't. This takes the credibility and the listening away from others that you are trying to build that relationship with. The other one that comes into play so often is if only. So as a self-reflection for yourself, I'd like you to take the opportunity in the next 24 hours to count how many times you use the words if only, I can't, or at least. And if you look at those 3 word combinations and you kind of track yourself on that, you can see where that optimism and pessimism kind of takes a play on that word, on those word choices. So if you can change that up a little bit, how can that have a positive impact? Something to think about. And along with words, I also bring into play here that concept of writing, because I think writing creates a powerfulness when it comes to words. And I want to share with you a recent study that was published in the Journal of Research and Personality, where a group of 90 undergraduates, they're undergraduate students, and they were split into 2 groups. And the first group had to write about an intensely positive experience for 3 consecutive days. And the second group, on those 3 consecutive days, wrote just about a control topic. 3 months later, after they gathered all the data from students doing this for 3 days only, the students who wrote the most positive experiences that they went through had better mood levels, fewer visits to their health center at their colleges, and experienced fewer illnesses. I mean, this just blew me away. Think about this. Better health after writing, using words, positive words, for only 3 days. Using positive thinking and positive words sounds useful on the surface. Most of us prefer to think of ourselves as positive people rather than negative people. But here's what I want you to think about when you think about that word positivity. Positivity comes across, that word, as soft and fluffy. And it's easy to dismiss. Oh, she's just always positive. In our worlds, it really carries the same weight as words like work ethic or persistence or resilience. I've often been told you can't be that positive all the time. It doesn't seem real. But the work world and society are changing these views on positivity, along with its actions. So research is really beginning to reveal that positivity in thoughts, positivity in words, positivity in actions is more than just being happy or having an upbeat attitude. Using positivity can actually help you create real value in your life, can help you build skills that last much longer than a smile. No, don't get me wrong. I want all the smiles in the world, right? We all do. But just to think about how that choice of words, the play on words, the positive thinking that those words create could be to enhance your life, your work, and your health. This is big stuff when it comes to that power of those words. I think we've all had in our lives too, where we've had someone share with us either an insight or an observation, and the power of those words has really hurt us. That negative feedback that we sometimes get. Again, how can we flip those words to bring to us a positive meaning? Because feedback is a gift. And when we receive that feedback and we take those words in and we really kind of break that down and peel it back, how can it have more impact on our life? To create a more positive way of thinking, to help us change our actions and be better, more positive people. So your challenge here is really, one of the greatest things is journaling and writing things down. And I personally have a hard time doing it. I get kind of in the cadence of it, and then I lose sight of it. So from a self-care perspective, journaling is a great resource. And it gives us the opportunity to really take a look at those words and what we're saying and how we're feeling and how we can flip them and have them have those most positive impact in our world. So really start to focus on your words. Again, remember, if only, I can't, and at least are going to be the key focus for you for the next 24 hours. On our next habit, we want to focus on the power of reading. How many of us love to read? I mean, I think we kind of create this image of either like to read or don't like to read, but I think there's something in the middle. Some of us might like to read self-improvement books. Some of us might like to read Facebook or even articles on the internet. I think we all have different variations and versions of reading, so it has to be what works for you when it comes to that reading aspect. But there is a power of positivity that comes in reading. I think too, many of us grow out of reading after we get out of school because we've put so much time and so much effort into reading and learning and paying attention of things that we lose some of that after we're out of our studies, and we regain it. I know personally from being home for 10 weeks, I regained the power of reading, and it has been a huge eye-opener for me because I now enjoy reading again. But if you want to create a positive mindset, I think reading can really help, as well as just boosting your mind power by improving your vocabulary and building your knowledge. Reading can create psychological growth really in a number of ways. And I like the vocabulary boosting thing as well. For one thing, I'm going to share with you some fascinating studies that show how reading can help us become more compassionate and more empathetic. So when we read, we often switch our perspective. And the better we get at doing this, the more we're able to relate to others, even those who are dramatically different than us. When you think about it, when we're reading, we're flipping that perspective to be in the person that we're reading about, or to connect with that person, or to connect with a story. There have even been brain scans suggesting that when we read fiction, in which characters go through certain experiences, studies reveal that our brain display activity is much similar as we're reading, going through those actual experiences in life. So think about it when you read a murder mystery, or when you read a problem-solving book, or even, again, those self-improvement books. We actually take on those experiences, and our brain waves show this. So this can help create that positivity when it comes to reading. So when you think about, does this really affect our power of positive thinking? There are a couple of different connections here between enhanced empathy and keeping a positive mindset. And first, you have to think about it, right? The more empathetic, the better we're at building our good relationships, which leads to our habit of surrounding ourselves with people and building those relationships. And then it also involves a reciprocal support. I want to be with that person wants to be with me. And secondly, empathy helps us to really develop a generally sympathetic overview. Rather than seeing people as good or bad, we see them as products of their environment and of their experience. So we kind of look at it from that perspective. So kind of let's set empathy aside a little bit because we're going to talk more about empathy in our weeks to come. But another reason why reading books holds immense power is that it exposes us to new ideas. So reading prompts us to really challenge things that we otherwise might have taken for granted. So this helps us to re-examine and replace old beliefs that are really no longer serving us and inspires us to make new challenges. So, and make new changes to ourselves as well. So as I told you, during this time at home, I have started bringing reading back into my day-to-day. So I'm going to walk over to my bookcase. I'm going to grab a couple of the books that I've been reading just to share with you. All right. So you're going to see a theme here as it relates to positivity. One of my books that I've been reading is Own Your Own Every Day. And this is by Jordan Lee Dooley. And she has just this great inspirational and spiritual tweak on how to own your own every day. Think about that from a positivity perspective. Really believing and setting yourself present in the day. So great words in this. This one you're going to love. And you're like, Jen, this is all about you. Happiness is an inside job. Again, that internal conversation that you're having with yourself in order to create that positivity in your life, to bring that happiness to your life, to engage in those thoughts. And then I mentioned this book in our last session, the book called Tiny Habits by B.J. Fogg, how to create those tiny habits. So when you think about all the habits, the powerful habits that we're going through, the key thing is how do we take that then and apply it from a tiny habit perspective, just to inundate ourselves a little bit day by day to become a little bit more positive. That's all we can do, you guys. All we can do is just create a little bit more positivity, a little bit, day by day. So today we had the opportunity to look at the power of words and the power of reading. These are habits 2 and 3 of the 7 most powerful positive habits. Oh, a lot to take in, right? What I want you to think about and what I want you to really take is, again, those key words, and make some changes to the negative words that are in your mindset. And then reading. How can you bring that back? Or if you have it already, how can you continue to do it so that that stays part of your day-to-day and really work to create and add that positivity in? Next week, we're going to explore habit number 4, which is the power of tuning in. And habit number 5, which is the power of experience. So those are going to be our main focuses next week. And I hope you continue to join us week over week. We're going to keep adding on with, at the end, having a full summary of our 7 powerful positive habits. But until then, I want you to work on your positive habits, spread them, because like attracts like. Bring that little bit of sunshine. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jen. Once again, great information, great positivity. You definitely make an impact in this world, and you make an impact in the movement. And something that I'm reflecting on as I hear what you said is about reading. You know, maybe I'm old school, just turned 50. I like reading the newspaper. I like that physical paper. And it's funny because I'll be reading the paper and I'll tell my wife, hey, do you hear about this? You hear about that? She's like, yeah, that's yesterday's news. I mean, because the time they take to get the news and then print it in this day of instant information, I don't have these feeds that ding me. I don't look at social media a whole heck of a lot to see what's going on. So I hear it from the paper. And regardless of social media or the paper, let's face it, there's a lot of negativity going on. And I think about, and I'm reflecting on what Jen said, just the power of reading. What am I choosing to read? What am I choosing to bring into my conscious mind to affect me? And so that's one of my takeaways that I'm definitely leaving with, is I definitely will choose what I expose myself to, so that I can keep working on keeping my positive outlook on the current reality, because there's always positive somewhere. So we're glad you joined us. We'll be back next week, Thursday, for part 3 in this part 4 series on the power of positivity. We'll see you next Thursday at 3. You have a great week.